Welcome back, students. In today's module, we shall take up the last lesson, the proposal. Authored by Anton Chekhov. Dear students, this lesson has been divided into four parts and will be presented in four videos. Today, I am going to deal with the first part of the lesson. So, before I take up the lesson, let me give an introduction to this chapter. The proposal, originally titled A Marriage Proposal, is a one-act play, a farce, means a comedy, by the Russian short story writer and dramatist Anton Chekhov. It was written in 1888 to 89. The play is about the tendency of wealthy families to seek ties with other wealthy families to increase their estates by encouraging marriages that make good economic sense. Ivan Lomov, a long-time wealthy neighbor of Stephen Chukbo, although wealthy, also wealthy, comes to see the hand of Chupko's 25-year-old daughter Natalia. All three are quarrelsome people and they quarrel over petty issues. The proposal is in danger of being forgotten amidst all this quarreling, but economic good sense ensures that the proposal is made after all, although the quarreling perhaps continues. I have a few pics for you. You can have a glance of it. These are the images showing you Russian traditional weddings. So, move on to the next slide. We have Russian modern weddings. Okay, so move on to the next slide. Now, before we take up the reading part, we shall have a glance of the characters. Stephen Stefanovich Shubkov, a landowner. Natalia Stefanovna, his daughter, 25 years old. Ivan Vasilyevich Lomov, a neighbor of Chupkov, a large and hearty but very suspicious landowner. So these are the characters you can find in this play. Okay, now the students shall take up the first slide. Let me read it for you. So this particular scene, which is called this particular lesson, we also called it one act play. So this is a play. So what is the present scene? The present scene is a drawing room in Chupko's house. Lomov enters wearing a dress jacket and white gloves. Chupko rises to meet him. Now Chupko speaks. My dear fellow, whom do I see? Ivan Vasilyevich. I am extremely glad. Squeezes his hand. Now, this is a surprise, my darling. How are you? Lomov says, thank you. And how may you may be getting on? Chip goes, we just get along, leading the life. Means get along means leading the life. Somehow, my angel, thanks to your prayers, and so on. Sit down. Please do. Now, you know, shouldn't forget all about your neighbors. My darling, my dear fellow, why are you so formal, Miss Official in your get-up? Evening dress, gloves, and so on. Can you be going anywhere, my treasure, Miss my precious esteem? Lomo, no, I've come only to see you, honored Stefan Stefanovich. Chupko, then why are you in evening dress, my precious? As if you're paying a New Year's Eve visit. So, dear student, what do you understand after reading this slide? So, yeah, we find the scene opens in Chupko's drawing room. Lomo enters and Chupko rises to welcome him. So, Chupko asks him as to how he may be getting on. Getting on means what? Or get along means leading the life. So Lomo thanks him. And Chupko also tells that he and his daughter get along somehow. He asks him why he is so formal in his get up. Lomo tells that he has come to see him. Have you understood, students? Shall we move on? Okay, let me read this slide for you. Lomo. Well, you see, it's like this. He takes his arm. I've come to you, honored Stefan Stefanovich, to trouble you with a request. Not once or twice have I already had the privilege, special advantage, of applying to you for help. You were always, so to speak. I must ask your pardon, forgiveness. I'm getting excited. I shall drink some water, honored Stefan Stefanovich. He drinks water. Chupko, aside, he's come to borrow money. Shan't give him any. Loud. What is it, my beauty? Lomo. You see, honored Stefanich. I beg pardon, Stefan Honorich. I mean, I'm awfully, extremely excited, as you will please notice. In short, you alone can help me, though I don't deserve it, of course, and haven't any right to count on your assistance. Chupko, oh, don't go round and drown it, darling. Spit it out well. So, the students, here we understand Chupko suspects that he has come to borrow money. And who has come to borrow money? Lomo. And decides not to give him any money. Is it a? So this is what we come across in this slide. If you want to go through difficult words, please go through it. Next. Lomo, one moment, this very minute. The fact is, I have come to ask the hand of your daughter, Natalia Stefanovna, in marriage. Chupko, joyfully, by Jah, oh, by love, I am Vasilvish. Say it again, I didn't hear it all. I have the honor to ask. Chupko, interrupting, cutting short. My dear fellow, I'm so glad, and so on. Yes, indeed, all that sort of thing. He embraces and kisses Lomo. I've been hoping for it for a long time. It's been my continual desire, a long awaited wish, said Satya. And always loved you, my angel. as you were my own son. May God give you both His help and His love and so on and so much hope. What I'm behaving in this idiotic, foolish way for? I am off my balance, lost my balance with joy, absolutely, completely off my balance. Oh, with all my soul, I'll go and call Natasha and all that. So, yeah, students, who is the speaker of this? Who is the speaker here? Can you tell me? Yeah, Chupko. Chupko, he has a conversation with, with the Lomo. What had he been hoping for a long time? That Lomo would promise to his daughter. So, what sort of person do you think Chupko was? So, here we can find out that he was easily excitable and was emotional. So, what is the noun form of hoping? Yeah, what is the noun form of hoping? Hope. So, next we say, here further you say, on making further inquiry, the students, Lomo tells that he has come to ask the hand of Natalia in marriage. Chupko gets joy on hearing it, as Natalia has reached the marriageable age. So he is off his balance with joy. So absolutely off his balance. So Lomo asks him if Natalia will consent for this marriage. Shall we continue? Lomo, greatly moved, honored Stefan Stefanovich, do you think I may count on our consent? Chupko, I, of course, my darling, and as if she won't consent, she's in love. God, she's like a lousy cat, and so on. Shan't be long. Here we find next. Lomo, it's cold. I'm trembling all over, just as if I'd got an examination before me. The great thing is, I must have my mind made up. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an ideal or for real love, then I'll never get married. It's cold. Natalia Stefanovna is an excellent housekeeper, not bad looking, well educated. What more do I want? But I'm getting a noise in my ears from excitement. Drinks? It's impossible for me not to marry. In the first place, I'm already 35, a critical, delicate age, so to speak. In the second place, I ought to lead a quiet and regular life. I suffer from palpitations, means heartbeats. I'm excitable and always getting awfully, terribly upset. So, students, further we also Lomo was trembling. Why was he trembling? Why? Because of excitement and cold. So, Lomo did not want to think or wait for ideals or real love, because that way you would never get married, because it is difficult to get an ideal or real love. So, the state of Lomo's mind, that the passage reflects, this particular conversation reflects that what? Anxious to get married soon. So, here, the noun form of hesitate. What is the noun form of hesitate? Hesitation. So, next. So, yeah, we say I'm trembling all over as if I had got an examination before me. So, yeah, Who is trembling? Ivan Vasilievich Lomov. So, he further speaks, the students, what does he say? Chupko tells that Natalia is to consent for this as she's in love with him and she's like a love sick. Lomo trembles all over, isn't it? As if he had got an examination before him. So he makes up his mind that it is right time for him to marry. So he thinks Natalia is an excellent housekeeper. So she's an excellent housekeeper. They're not bad looking, educated. What more does he want? So he's already, what is it? 35. So a critical age. So he should not delay his marriage and lead a quiet and regular life. So he suffers from important thing here. So throughout the play will be coming across this particular word called palpitations, means heart disease or heartbeats, something to do with the heartbeats. So palpitation, suffers from palpitations and gets easily upset. So he is very open enough, outspoken in presenting before Chupko whatever the wish he wants to, and whatever the wish he wants to convey, he presents before Chupko. At this very moment, my lips are trembling, and there's a twitch, pull with a jerk in my right eyebrow. But the very worst of all is the way I speak, I sleep. I no sooner get into bed and begin to go off, when suddenly something in my left side gives a pull, and I can feel it in my shoulder and head. I jump up like a lunatic, mad person, walk about a bit, lie down again, but as soon as I begin to get off to sleep, there's another pull, and this may happen 20 times. Natalia Stefanovna comes in. Natalia, well, there is you? And Papa said, go, there's a merchant come for his goods. How do you do, Ivan Vasilievich? Lomo, how do you do, honored Natalia Stefanovna? Talia, you must excuse my apron and negligee, Miss loose fitted clothes. The shelling piece for drying. Why haven't you been here for such a long time? Sit down. So they seat themselves. Would you have some lunch? So the students, further we find here that whenever he expresses, even further shares his own personal problems with the Chupko, stating that whenever he sleeps, he feels a pull in his left side, then left side shoulder and head. Then he jumps, walks, and lies down, but as soon as he is to get off to sleep, another pull comes. So Natalia comes and surprises. Further, we see her to see him because her father tells her that merchant has come for his goods. So here, she can observe the inner meaning of this particular dialogue spoken here. There is a merchant. You see, these people are, they go after materialistic mind, and they go after all these property, and they are thinking is such, so they refer even the personal relationship, the emotion part, everything in terms of business, in terms of business. So Chupko told Natalia that there is a merchant come for his goods. So here we can observe the inner meaning of this, the thinking of the mindset of Chupko. So Loma, so even she tells that Lomo asks how she is, and she is in her apron and negligee, as she is. Negligee means loose fitted clothes. And Lomo, and she also tells that she is shelling peas for drying. Shall we continue? Lomo, no, thank you. I've had some already. Natalia, then more. Yeah, the matches. The weather is splendid, magnificent now. But yesterday it was so wet that the workmen didn't do anything all day. How much hay have you staked? Received? Just think. I felt greedy and had a whole field cut. Now I'm not at all pleased about it because I'm afraid my hay may rot. I ought to have waited a bit. But what's this? Why, you're in evening dress? Well, I never. Are you going to a ball or what? Though I must say, you look better. Tell me, why are you got up like that? No more excited. You see, honored Natalia Stefanovna, the fact is, I made up my mind to ask you to hear me out. Of course, you'll be surprised and perhaps even angry, but aside, it's awfully cold. So, the students, what we observe here, I can, it says, in this particular slide, we come across that she offers smoke and matches. She tells that the weather is splendid. The previous day, it was so wet that the workman didn't do anything all day. She had a whole field cut, and now she is afraid her hay may not. Nomo is unable to ask if she will accept his proposal. So, here further we see, students, what does you stand for? So here, Lomo. So when Natalia saw her visitor, Miss Lomo in the formal dress, she was inquisitive. So the expression, why are you got up like that? So why are you got up like that? Means what? Can you guess? This implies, why are you dressed up like that? Because he has come over there with the formal dress. So she's asking, why are you dressed up like that? So that's the meaning of why are you got up like that. And what is the adverb form of like? Is likely. Have you understood, students? Shall we move on? Natalia, what's the matter? Pause. Well, I shall try to be brief. You must know, honored Natalia Stefanovna, that I have long, since my childhood, in fact, had the privilege of knowing your family. My late aunt and her husband, from whom, as you know, I inherited my land, always had the greatest respect for your father and your late mother. The Lomos and Chupkos have always had the most friendly, and I might almost say the most affectionate regard for each other. And as you know, my land is a near neighbor of yours. You remember that my oxen meadows, a grassland for oxen, touch your birchwoods, a kind of tree. Excuse my interrupting you. You say my oxen meadows, but are they yours? Yes, mine. Italia. What are you talking about? Oxen meadows are ours, not yours. Lomo. No, mine. Anna Natalia Stefanovna. Natalia. Well, I never knew that before. So, how do you make that out? Here, students, you can observe slowly the actual quarrel begins here regarding the property. Isn't it? So, what kind of neighbors were Lomos and Chupkos? So, they were friendly, affectionate, and had regard for each other. So, what reference, the students, does Lomo give to prove that they were neighbors. So it tells that his oxen meadows touched their perch. So just they are very close neighbors. So oxen meadows touch your birch. So it tells that the very close neighbors. So at the same time, who is the speaker of this particular in this particular dialogue? The students here, Lomo. So here, Lomo speaks. And what is the noun form of remember? Remembrance. So what is the noun form of remember? Remembrance. Next, further we find to see in the he mentions who? Lomo. And what does he mention? He mentions that oxen meadows that touch Chupko's birch woods. He also tells that between their families there is a good mutual respect and affection. Now, over the oxen meadows, they quarrel. Lomo tells that he means those oxen meadows which are wedged between their birch woods and burnt marsh. Now, Lomo tells her that oxen meadows belong to him. So, here the real quarrel begins. So, dear students, we shall wind up the first part of the lesson and we shall continue the play in the next video. So, before we wind up this session, we shall try to recall what we discussed in this episode. Lomo, a young man, comes to his neighbor Chupko's house in a formal dress, wearing jacket and gloves, to propose to his daughter. Father feels very happy and goes to call his daughter. While Natalia, Chupko's daughter, comes, Lomo thinks about his decision to marry. He is 35 years old, a heart patient, and also suffering from sleep sickness. So he must get married to lead a quiet and regular life. Natalia is a good housekeeper, not bad to look at, and also educated. She will prove to be a good wife to him. While creating background for proposing Natalia, Lomo refers to the oxen meadows, a disputed piece of land between the lands owned by them. Both fall into argument, each claiming ownership over it. Thank you.